Okay, I was caught off guard. What's going on, guys? How's it hanging? It's BlueJay here, and the latest chapter of the A Couple of Cuckoos manga has got the community a buzz. So what's going on? Well, this chapter opens up with a presentation of Nagi Umino's morning routine, which I for one was very interested in any way. I especially appreciated the joke of Nagi screaming first thing in the morning. When I first saw that, I thought to myself, that is so Nagi. So he recommends a good scream first thing in the morning as it wakes you up in an instant, which is very smart. I never would have thought about that. Here I was expecting an entire routine of Nagi. However, unfortunately, to my unvast knowledge, this hilarious montage only spans from 6:30 a.m. to 7:40 a.m. and cuts it short with the ceiling fan falling from the ceiling, destroying the breakfast the montage has shown with Nagi cooking breakfast. So why did the ceiling fan fall from the roof? Well, sweet innocent Erika created another photo board, just like the one herself, Nagi, and Sachi had crafted when Sachi first started living with them. Erika claimed their first photo board got filled up, so they needed a second one. So she was up all night crafting a new one. It seems that Erika might have wanted to use one of the ceiling fan screws to hang up the new photo board. Oh, Erika. So I was actually under the impression this chapter would be similar to that of the SpongeBob SquarePants episode Rise and Shine, where it dives into the average morning routine of Patrick Star. However, to my great surprise, I was way off. Anyway, throughout this foul 222, this sends Nagi and Erika off to a home goods store to buy a replacement light for their home, as their current one is obviously out of commission. Through a vigorous back and forth over which one to buy, Nagi and Erika's contradicting styles and preferences keep bumping into one another. A staff member of the store asks to assist them in their purchase today, and asks if they live together. Once again, with a back and forth, eventually the truth comes out, and they comply that yes, indeed, they do live together. Which this scene sets up a topic clouding Nagi's mind coming up. So, splitting the difference, coinciding both their preferences, Nagi and Erika roughly decide on the very first light they saw. Although it was the very first one they rejected during their back and forth, which was pretty funny. It was the only light shown that functions as a light and fan, as the other options had just sported the functionality of a light source. With their purchase being prepared for delivery the very next day, the two head down to the Super Basket supermarket to prepare for dinner on their way back home, after another back and forth over dinner options. Erika grabbing a basket, waiting on Nagi. He was just standing there in a daze, where he wonders if life could be a simple, humble one like today's outing. If he'd get married to Erika. So we can hear the cogs turning. The home goods store employee asking if they live together, and soon after, Nagi realizes how this could be a fun life together if they indeed got married. And I don't know why, I just feel like this is the ideal average married life that Nagi wants. With all that in mind, on the commute back home, they drop their grocery bags on the ground in sight of their house boarded off with keep out signs, relevantly under construction. And this, once again, took me by intense surprise. I never once thought of the Ami-Umi house being taken away so thoroughly. Anyway, Erika's first instinct is to call her dad. Shorichiru claims the house was getting old, and it was about time for some well-needed renovations. He then diverts the conversation into his court, and puts his plan into motion in full effect. This all goes back to one of my favorite fouls in the manga, that being foul 112, where after aggressively trying to pair up Nagi and Erika to each other after all this time, which by the way has a good chance of being adapted into the upcoming season 2 of the anime, after all this time, in foul 112, it was then where he tried pulling them apart. We theorized that that master plan is an attempt to pull them apart from each other, just to make them realize how much they need each other in their lives. Ergo, easily having them develop the urge to get married, fulfilling Shorichiru's ultimate plan. Fast forward to foul 222. We have Shorichiru pulling the same thing, and figures it's a good time for Nagi and Erika to stop living together. Honestly, after reading this, I was in complete shock. I had no idea how Shorichiru's master plan of separating them will play out. if it'll play out, and how this will affect the story. But literally this morning, a thought came to me. So either A, and yes, I do sleep and wonder about how the A Couple of Cuckoos story will progress. So either A, Nagi and Erika will go live at the Umino household, and there's evidence to support this because Sachi had just recently moved back home. Or B, I honestly think that this upcoming plot will be inspired off of a portion of the quintessential quintuplet season 2, where the Nakano sisters move out of their house to rebel against their rich dad. I'm sensing something similar will happen here, and it actually makes sense. So hear me out. Nagi and Erika will, as usual, rebel against Shorichiro, not letting themselves become separated from each other. They'll rent an apartment similar to that of the Nakano sisters, a small, cheap, maybe run-down apartment. But you see, it made them very happy to be independent from their father, and it helped them grow as people. I think Nagi and Erika, if going down this path is correct, will feel that same happiness of independence after renting an apartment. And you know, just like all the signs of married couple in this chapter alone, I'm sensing Nagi and Erika will experience the humble beginnings of an independent couple, just getting their start in life, you know, when a young couple rents their first apartment together, and all that kind of stuff. So I really do hope that idea will be incorporated into the future of A Couple of Cuckoos. And then that begs the questions, what will the Ami Umi house look like after renovation? Will Nagi and Erika go back to the Ami Umi house just like what happened in the quintessential quintuplets? Personally, I do think that will happen anyways. But either way, I really do like this idea of Nagi and Erika getting their start of their, you know, couple life. Like, I'm just imagining it right now. It could be so adorable. But anyway, with all that in mind, let me know what you think of my theory, and if you'd like to see it come to fruition. If you've enjoyed today's video, please take a quick moment to leave a like to help this video reach others. You can also subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of these types of videos. And if you'd like to see my reaction to the A Couple of Cuckoos Season 2 teaser trailer, click the video that you're currently seeing on your screen. Or maybe, if you'd rather see my reaction to the quintessential quintuplets 5 memories spent with you, click the playlist that you're currently seeing on your screen.